Tuesday night weather for Weather Geeks. We're going to zip through this as quickly as we can because the Indians are on in a half an hour. The Cavs are just getting started. It's a big sports night in Cleveland, and you bet I'm going to be glued to the TV. Well, paying a little bit of attention to the weather, too. All right, today's high, 53 degrees below average. Only a handful of below average days in the month of October. Of course, another very warm month. We're sitting at 4.7 degrees above average for the month so far, and that puts us in 9th or 10th place on the list of warmest Octobers here. And even though tonight's going to be cold and tomorrow's going to be chilly, we've got some warm days coming this weekend as we wrap up October. I think we're going to try to climb this list at least a little bit. So it'll probably finish in the top 10 for warmest Octobers here in Youngstown. 2007, the most recent really warm October. And as we take a look at tonight, I mentioned it's going to be cold. The sky is in the process of clearing at least enough that temperatures will bottom out. Now, if the sky were crystal clear all night, we could drop into the mid-20s. But I think there'll be enough cirrus clouds coming in from the south and west that we're going to stop right around 30 to 32. Certainly one of the colder nights of the season so far. All right, tomorrow, big question for the weather, particularly in Cleveland for Game 2 tomorrow evening, is it going to rain? That remains sort of a difficult question to answer. Here's a look at midday. Clouds fairly thin at this point, but I think clouds will thicken up in the afternoon. It's going to look like it wants to rain. It may rain just a little bit tomorrow afternoon, early tomorrow evening. But as we go towards game time, here we are. This is the our in-house RPM model. Notice it has nothing in northern Ohio right around game time. With an easterly wind, which tends to be a dry wind direction for us. The lower levels will have a tough time moistening up for a while tomorrow evening. Now, do I think this model is exactly right? No. I think there is a better chance for rain up around Cleveland than the model shows. Is it enough to cause delays and that sort of thing? I'm not sure about that just yet. But I do think that this model is a little too dry looking tomorrow evening, but it's something that we'll keep an eye on. Whatever time the rain gets into Cleveland and Youngstown, once it gets in, it's going to be here for a while. It is going to turn soggy from time to time late in the night and into Thursday morning. Here's Thursday morning. Gusty breeze, but we're still on the warm side of things Thursday morning with a southwest wind, and I think temperatures will spike into the middle 50s Thursday morning. Then temperatures will start to drop again in the afternoon behind the front, and there could be a residual shower or two, and it'll be a blustery afternoon. It's going to feel a little different by dinner time Thursday as compared to the middle of the morning. That system's out of our hair by Friday. High pressure builds in, and clouds should gradually break for some sunshine. Back to tomorrow, our hour-by-hour rain chances here. Again, there could be a little bit of rain late in the afternoon, early in the evening, but the odds are still only 30 to 40%. The odds do ramp up as we go well past sunset and into the overnight, particularly as we get past midnight. I think rain is very, very likely. How much rain are we talking about? Our modeling here kind of clustered right around 1/4 of an inch. These amounts have come down in recent runs, but I'm still a little bit nervous from a forecasting standpoint that some of the modeling is underdone here. I wouldn't be shocked if some of us got a half an inch worth of rain from this upcoming rain event. At least it's not snow. Yeah, this is going to be enough to shovel and plow, certainly, in parts of the southern tier of New York and far northeastern PA, and then up through the highest terrain in upstate New York and into the Green and White Mountains in Vermont and New Hampshire. Another little wintry blast for them. No winter weather around here anytime soon, but my winter forecast, we're going to do it next week. It's going to depend on what the weather's doing. If the Indians are still playing, my time might be a little bit too short on TV. So we'll just play it by ear. But at some point next week, I'm going to do the winter forecast online and on TV. All right, let's talk about some changes for the weekend. Boy, the modeling has definitely shifted over the last 24 hours, and now we have a much drier and warmer picture being painted by the modeling as we head into the weekend. Here's Friday afternoon. No problems for high school football Friday evening. Should be a crisp but dry evening. Now, this next front looks slower, much slower, in fact, as we go into the upcoming weekend. Here's a look at Saturday afternoon. Front still off to the north. We're into the warm sector here. There's going to be a warm front out here. We're going to be firmly in the warm sector. We could make a run at 70 degrees Saturday afternoon. I had to jack the high way up in my forecast for Saturday. So that's Saturday, and even Sunday still looks pretty balmy, even though the front may slide through eventually. We could still get into the 60s on Sunday and I don't think there's a lot of moisture with this. Maybe a shower or two. That is about it. And the warmth looks to hold on through early next week. In fact, take a look at our GFS temperature plot here, the GFS model, an American long-range model, showing temperatures in the 60s from Saturday right through Tuesday, the first day of November. Now, as we get beyond the middle of next week, I think the pattern will start becoming a little more typical of early November. But then as we go beyond this 16-day period and go really truly into the middle of November, there's a lot of signaling in the modeling that we could head into a pretty cold pattern during the second half of November. And there's a chance that November could be a rare below-average month temperature-wise for us. We've only had one this year, that was April. There's a chance we break that string in November. And a little hint for the winter forecast, which I'm doing next week, December is going to be a lot different than last year. Last year was the warmest December on record in Youngstown. And not only will it not be the warmest December on record this year, there's a chance it could be colder than average. So it could be a dramatic change from December of 15 to December of 16. Stay tuned for the details next week in my winter forecast. All right, go Tribe tonight, go Cavs. I'll see you back here for more Weather Geeks tomorrow evening.